Hi there. Okay, so welcome back to Becoming Seen. And today I want to talk about something I think gets misunderstood all the time, especially in the online business world. People often use the words marketing and visibility as if they mean the same thing. And I want to be really clear that they're not. They're connected, yes, but they're not the same thing. That distinction matters more than most people realize. Because if you don't understand the difference, it becomes very, very easy to think you're failing at marketing when the real issue is something much deeper. And that's what I want to unpack today. If this is your first introduction to me, my name is Pam Hamilton. And as someone who chose invisibility at the ripe old age of 9 because it felt safer than showing up as me, I understand the visibility struggle. And I'm on a mission to help you find the courage to be seen so that you can show up in your life and in your business with clarity, authenticity, and ease. That work starts on the inside because visibility is about changing your relationship with being seen. And in today's video, I want to show you why that matters so much. So let's start with visibility itself. At its most basic level, visibility simply means being seen. In fact, if you were to look it up in the dictionary, visibility is the state of being able to be seen, or the degree to which something is clear and perceptible. So when I talk about being seen, I'm not talking about being on a certain platform or using a certain kind of media. I'm talking about the willingness to let other people actually see you. One of my favorite things in James Cameron's first Avatar movie was the way the Na'vi people greeted each other. They said, "I see you." Not just that your body's standing in front of me, but I see who you are. That has always stayed with me because it takes real courage to be vulnerable enough to let other people actually see who you are, what you think, what you care about, what you believe, and what you offer. That might sound simple on the surface, but I know for me, for a long time, it was scary as all get out. Nothing about it felt simple at all because being seen didn't feel neutral. And I know I'm not alone in that. I know for a fact that a lot of women, for a lot of women, visibility feels vulnerable, exposing, and risky. And that's especially true if you grew up in the 50s and 60s or even the early 70s, because the rules were different for women in that era. And it often felt safer to stay quiet, stay agreeable, stay modest, stay behind the scenes, and absolutely not to do anything that might draw too much attention to yourself. That kind of conditioning doesn't just disappear because now you have a business and people are telling you you have to market it in order to be successful. Visibility is not about showing your face online or putting yourself out there. It's about what it feels like in your body and in your mind to let yourself be seen. That's why I say visibility requires courage. Marketing, on the other hand, is about tactics. It's about the tools and the strategies you use to bring attention to your work and what you offer. When you're ready to be seen, marketing helps people find you. It helps build awareness. It helps create reach. It helps the right people understand who you are and how you can help them. And all of that matters. I'm not anti-marketing. Marketing is powerful when it's well done, and it's necessary too. But it's not the same thing as visibility. And it doesn't work very well if you're not ready to be seen. Marketing is about the tactics and strategies you use to grow your business. Visibility is your relationship with being seen. It's personal. And if you're being honest, if visibility is a struggle for you, your business probably isn't the only place where you're hiding or playing small, because it affects every area of your life, including the most important relationship of all, your relationship with yourself. So, yeah, marketing can amplify visibility, but it can't replace it. When people confuse the two, that's where a lot of the pain starts. And here's the thing. Here's why I think this distinction matters so much. No matter how good a marketing strategy is, it's going to be really hard for you to use it well if you're afraid of being seen. You may know exactly what you should do, right? Post consistently, talk about your offer, show your face, share your opinion, send the email, make the video, tell people how you help. But if visibility feels unsafe, too exposed, or too charged, you're not going to do those things wholeheartedly. You may not do them at all. Instead, you're going to procrastinate and you're going to keep getting ready to get ready. You water down what you really want to say. You second guess your tone. You over explain. You hold back the strongest parts. Or you decide to wait until you feel more ready, more polished, more confident, more perfect, right? Which, of course, that never really happens. And so you don't ever get the results you're hoping for. That's when it gets painful. Because now you start telling yourself a story. Maybe I need a better strategy. Maybe I need to learn more about marketing. Maybe I just need more confidence. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe there's something wrong with me. But there's nothing wrong with you. What's often happening is that you're trying to use marketing tactics while visibility is still a struggle. And that is a very different problem. So here's how it shows up. I want you to get this because this is the loop I see so many women get stuck in. Okay. You assume you have a marketing problem. So you're proactive, right? You go looking for more tactics. You buy another course. You follow another expert. Try another strategy. And you try to force yourself to push through it. But if the real issue is that being seen still feels dangerous on some level, more tactics don't solve the actual problem. They just create more pressure. And that pressure can make the visibility resistance even stronger. Because now it starts to feel like proof, right? Proof of the story you've been telling yourself. Proof that marketing is too hard. Proof that business is too hard. Proof that you're too inconsistent. Proof that you are somehow failing. When really what's happening is much more human than that. Old protection patterns are still running. And that doesn't make you broken. It makes you someone whose nervous system and self-protection habits are trying to keep you safe in the only ways they've ever learned how to. So you need a different solution, right? Than what marketing alone has to offer. It needs the kind of solution that I offer through my 5-step visibility framework. It's why I created it, because it actually addresses the real problem by helping you find the courage to be seen. And step 1 is simply understanding that your lack of visibility is about your relationship with being seen. It's not a marketing problem. It's a self-protection problem. That step alone can help you let go of so much stress, because it puts the solution back in your hands. It makes it something you can actually work on. The other 4 steps are recognizing the self-talk holding you back and identifying and releasing the underlying conditions behind that self-talk, embracing your story so you can own your authority and credibility, and practicing taking small steps of visibility, because action matters. Now, I'm going to talk more about my visibility framework and each of those steps in later videos. But for now, let me give you a real life example from my own business, okay? So you're watching my YouTube channel right now. And at the time of this video, I have like more than 160 public videos on this channel. But for a long time, growth was slow. The views and the subscribers didn't reflect the amount of work I was putting into making those videos. But here's the thing though, that gap wasn't because I didn't care, okay? It wasn't because I was lazy. And it definitely wasn't because I didn't have anything to say. It took me time because visibility is built in stages. Before I could focus on growing my channel strategically, I had to get more comfortable being seen on video in a public space. That mattered. And that part wasn't wasted effort. It was part of the work, because this is a different kind of visibility than showing up in a private Facebook group or doing a workshop or writing a blog post. Before strategy could really help me, I needed to build more capacity for visibility in this kind of space. I needed to practice showing up. I needed to be able to get more comfortable hearing my own voice, seeing myself on screen, and letting myself take up that kind of space. Now I'm more comfortable, and I can start being more intentional about the marketing side. Now I can think more strategically about how I want the channel to grow, how I optimize content, and how I make it easier for the right people to find me. But I couldn't begin there, because I did that work. I can now begin growing my channel more intentionally, and you can watch that happening in real time. Now, I want to contrast that with someone I have a lot of respect for, because I think it makes the point even clearer. Okay. Cindy Bedard is someone I consider a mentor. She recently started a new YouTube channel, and she approached it with a very strong marketing strategy. And the results have been impressive. Okay, really. The last time I looked, she only had around a dozen videos on that channel and already had thousands of subscribers and were getting tens of thousands of views on them. That is good marketing at work. And it also makes my point. She could only implement that strategy because she has already found the courage to be seen. She can show up clearly. She can be herself. She can let people see her across different platforms and different forms of content. Not because she's perfect, right? That doesn't exist. And not because she never gets nervous. She does, especially when she's doing something new. And sometimes, even when she's doing things she makes look easy, right? Things that she makes look easy. The reason she was able to do it wasn't because of any of those things. It was because she had done enough of the inner work that visibility is no longer the biggest barrier. It's not. And that's the difference. And that is why I care so much about helping women understand that visibility and marketing are not interchangeable. If you've been struggling to market your business, I really want you to hear this. The problem is not that you're bad at marketing. It's not that you are lazy or flaky or inconsistent or undisciplined or whatever you tell yourself about why you're not gaining traction. It may simply be that visibility still feels too costly and that truly being seen still feels like too much. That isn't a character flaw, okay? That's something you can work with. And the more you understand that, the less likely you are to keep shaming yourself for struggling with something that was never, ever just tactical in the first place. So yes, marketing matters, but visibility comes first. Marketing gets attention, but visibility requires courage. And when visibility feels safer, marketing becomes much more possible. That's the work I care about. Helping women find the courage to be seen from the inside out so they can actually use the strategies they learn instead of freezing, shrinking, and talking themselves out of it. That's what my visibility framework helps you do. If this is resonating with you, please like this video, share it, subscribe to my channel, okay? And if you've ever thought you had a marketing problem when what was really going on was a visibility problem, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you.